Alrighty, what is up, y'all? Slot back at it again with another daily The Finals upload, and today we're going to be discussing and ranking every different specialization in the game. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting out with the grappling hook on light glass. This is a pretty fun specialization in my opinion. It's got really good verticality and just fun to use, but in terms of like competitive viability, you're just much better off using the evasive dash in every situation. Honestly, it's just not really that useful as it stands. It needs either probably 2 charges or a smaller cooldown to make it competitively viable. C tier gadget or specialization. Then we've got evasive dash. Goated, doesn't get much better. If you're not using this, you're a cringe lord. No, well, not necessarily, but you are possibly a cringe lord, but it's not because you're not running this. It's just goated. You can use it to increase mobility a shitload. You can use it to like juke out your opponents. You can use it to get out of any situation. I think it's better at evading from a fight than invisibility even is, and in like plat and above, but you know, it's just goated. You can't go wrong. Alright, then we've got the invisibility. It's definitely a good specialization. In my opinion, it's just a slightly worse evasive dash, especially in the higher ranks. You can definitely farm a lot of noobs with this in like bronze, silver, and even gold, just because people haven't figured out how to like notice you yet. But once you're in like plat and above, you're gonna want to use evasive dash in my opinion. It's just like a better version. Invis is just, I don't know, most good players at the game are just able to spot it in my opinion, but you know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's better. Alright, then we've got the brand new dematerializer on medium. This is a very solid specialization. It's like the only thing that medium has that really allows you to destroy, well, not really destroy, but get through walls. I think it's definitely one of the most fun specializations and one of the coolest specializations in the game. It's probably, I'm gonna put it at A tier. It's a just all around solid specialization, but I will say you're probably gonna have to learn how to use this and work a lot harder to become good with it than you will with the other medium options, but this is definitely the most fun in my opinion. It's just dope. Healing beam, that's an easy S tier. It's just super easy to use for new players, super easy to use for good players, super good for new players, super good for pros. Like you can't really go wrong with healing beam. It's just all around really solid. Alright, and then to wrap up medium, we've got the Guardian turret. It's good in the 5v5 mode, I'll give it that. It's nice for sitting on the platform and defending it, but as far as like competitive viability, this just is not going to be your best option. It's just really easy to counter and doesn't really provide too much viability to your, or utility to your team. I'm sure that there is different playstyles that could make this work, but I personally feel like you'd probably get more out of one of the other two specializations, purely out of competitive viability, but if you think it's cool, then just run that. Simple as that. Alrighty, and then moving on to the heavy options, we've got Goo Gun. Goo Gun is really goated in my opinion. You can't really go wrong with it. It's super fun to use. You can use it for mobility, you can use it for defense, you can use it to freeze people in place if you're trying to get closer to them with like a sledgehammer or a flamethrower. It's just all around solid tool, but not quite S tier, just because first of all it's going to take a lot more like time and effort to become good with this Goo Gun, but it's solid. You can't go wrong with it. Alright, next up we have the Mesh Shield on heavy. Mesh Shield, easy S tier. It's just too easy. Reinhardt shield, go burr. You can't go wrong with Mesh Shield. It's just kind of a simple dub all day. Like, it's got, I think they just nerfed the health pool on it, so it's only 1,000 damage that it can take before recharge, but come on, that's 3 heavy players. Like anyone's shooting at you, you just pop his shield up, wait till they have to reload, drop it, and then wipe them. Like, Mesh Shield is probably one of the best specializations in the game all around. I don't think it's as fun as, say, the goo gun on heavy, but it's definitely up there in terms of competitive viability. Alright, then we got charge and slam. Honestly, in my opinion, probably the worst specialization in the game. It's just not it. Like, you're not getting any of the value that you really need from a specialization. It's good for, like, closing a gap, which can be helpful on heavy because you're so slow, but I think you're better off just trying to goo gun the opponent that you want to close the gap between. And as far as the slam ability, I mean, you're not gonna really do much with it. You're better off just RPGing from afar and then pulling out like a goo gun or something. I don't know. Just don't use charge and slam if you want to compete in ranked, but if you think it's fun, use it. Alright, that wraps up our tier list today for every specialization in the finals. If you agree or disagree, please let me know down below. I'd love to argue with you in the comments. Thank you for watching, everybody. This has been Slop. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.
You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax.